Right, the Reds, it's the wrap-up, and the Anfield Wrap is running the Liverpool Santa Dash on Sunday at 9:30, and this is basically your last chance to back us. We're raising money for Woodlands Hospice. This beard's already doing me head in.
You got to run 5k, innit?
I've got to run 5k in that. No, we're running around.
That's not going to stay on.
We're running around in the full gear around this beautiful city, and we're raising money for Woodlands Hospice. They look after people suffering from cancer and other life-limiting diseases, and the family as well. Vital service in North Liverpool, in Aintree. We've raised nearly £2,000 now, and I'd really like us to actually get to £2,000 and more if possible. So if you can spare a few bob, please get involved, please sponsor us, please donate, and we'd love it if you did, wouldn't we, because it's a fantastic service, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an amazing charity. They actually need £3,000 a day just to keep going, just to operate. So wouldn't it be awesome if the Anfield Wrap could fund one of those days and all us do that together? That'd be like a cool thing.
The website is justgiving.com/fundraising/Anfield Wrap Santa Dash. We'll whack that on the screen and in the comments as well. So yeah, if you can help, thank you. Okay, the football then. You might have seen that we're doing a new video now called Talking Reds. That's 4 times a week. We'll still be doing the wrap-up, which goes out on a Friday. But if you haven't seen Talking Reds, get involved. Every day we're talking about the Reds, we're talking about football, we're talking about the media. And so far the feedback's been really good. So that's always on our Facebook page and always on our YouTube channel. So give that a go. But first off, I mean, to get into the football on the wrap-up, I think really we've got to talk about Everton, haven't we? And to kick us off on Everton, have a look at this. Okay, so Big Sam has got the Everton job on a reported £6 million a year.
Is your head fell off?
I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, it's talked about all the time about how much Liverpool and Everton fans should talk about each other. We're all having a go at each other all the time about who's obsessed and who's bitter and everything else. But let's be honest, this is funny. This is funny, isn't it? I mean, they spent 140 million quid. They said there was going to be this Merseyside power shift. They said they were going to get in the Champions League. They were saying all kinds. And now they've turned to Big Sam, 6 million quid a year. Now, let me just tell you why that's particularly funny. Because Rafa Benitez only gets £4 million a year. Zinedine Zidane only gets 4.6 million a year. Diego Simeone only gets 5.1 million a year, and Pochettino at Spurs, who everyone loves apparently, only gets 5.46 million. So they're paying Big Sam, with his reputation, with his style of football, with everything that comes with Big Sam, pints of wine, pints of gravy and everything else. They're paying him, and possibly Sammy Lee. That's not done yet, but that'll be funny if that happens as well. It's funny, isn't it, mate? I
mean, the amount of money, on top of all that, what you just said, which is all true, he's also unemployed. So it's not like, he's not got anything on. It's not like you've got to, we've got to give him a pay rise to come here. He's sat in Bolton drinking gravy, you know what I mean? He's fine, so whoever does the negotiating at Everton, I hope they're on our contracts next year, Robbo, because we'll be on all sorts. But it is funny, and as you say, you're meant to laugh at your rivals. This whole thing, you call us obsessed and all this, thought you didn't talk about us. At the Anfield Wrap, we will always laugh at Everton, and that's a promise. And if we ever give, the likes of Blue Room reason to laugh at us, then feel free as well. That's what it's all about.
Laugh back, it's fine.
But it'll be more the other way.
I mean, they'll be watching this because that's what they do. They'll be watching it and they'll be saying you're obsessed with us and we're watching you.
In your blue Santa suits.
And you laugh when we had Hodgson. You laugh when Gerrard slipped and all that. You're still going on about that. So here we go, a bit coming back the other way. But the Reds then. The Reds, Brighton, you're going down there, Gibbo, an Anfield Wrap live show. Are you looking forward to both the show and the match?
Really looking forward to the show. It's sold out, which is fantastic. Huge thanks to the supporters club down in there. Do have a look on The Guardian if you can, or on their Twitter page. They've got a story about the supporters club, and it's quite a unique one, really. Supporters clubs all around the world, really, are fantastic in their support to Liverpool and how much you get into, but the Brighton one is a little bit special, I think, so do have a look at that. So looking forward to party with them on Friday night and then go in the game. It's a new ground, isn't it, for a lot of us? We haven't played them since '82, you're telling me before?
So the last game against Brighton was at Anfield. We beat them in the FA Cup 6-1 in 2012. There's been another 5 meetings in the Cups across the years. But hang on while I turn my page. And I've got bits of beard in my mouth and all kinds. It's all going wrong. The last league game, bits of beard, man. Beard. The last league game was 1983, when it was still the first division. That was the Goldstone ground then. We drew 2-2. We were trailing 2-0 and Ian Rush scored a couple of late goals. I mean, I was 7. And what were you then, mate?
0.
So yeah, it is a new experience for everyone. Klopp's been rotating the teams. There's been some chat about substitutions and stuff like that as well, but it does really seem like he's managing minutes this time round, doesn't it? So what are you expecting to see on the pitch when the Reds go out there in that new ground?
Well, what's great is a lot of the big guns have had the rest now, haven't they? So you're looking for Firmino, Salah, Mane and Coutinho. They've all missed the game, so hopefully we're going to see all 4 of them, which is absolutely fantastic. Obviously Henderson's had the rest now. I'll expect him to come back in. And then it's Warner, Wijnaldum and Can. I'd personally go for Emery, because I feel like Wijnaldum's had quite a few minutes this season, generally more than Can. You'd think he'd be a bit fresher. You might do something with the fullbacks. We might see Andy Robertson. Who knows, stranger things have happened. But in terms of from attacking point of view, I mean, Brighton should be a bit worried, I think, because all the big guns will be there and firing and ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, the lads up front are absolutely on fire. Obviously 17 goals for Salah now. Should be an exciting game, really looking forward to it. All the usual stuff on the Anfield Wrap, so preview shows, review shows, all the social media, get involved. Okay, so everything we've ever done with the Anfield Wrap, we've always based it around the feedback that we get. We're always reading all your comments on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on forums like Red and White Cop, on our subscriber group, which you can join if you're a subscriber. Just type into Facebook Tour Player Subscribers, get in there. It's a closed group. You just have to answer a few simple questions and then we'll let you in. And all of that's been really useful for us to get where we are now, 6 years on after we launched it. But what I thought would be interesting to do with the wrap-up, something a little bit different, and because we're doing Talking Reds now, is discuss some of the feedback we've had in the week just gone. And we've had some absolutely wild feedback in the week just gone, John. And so I'm going to read one out for you. See what you think of this, mate. So this is from, you ready? This is from Charlie Adams Fried Egg Right. Interesting username there, mate. And he's on the Red and White Cop forum. There's a thread on there about the Anfield Wrap, which is absolutely huge, but this is a fairly recent comment. He says, what I always struggle with is the confident pronouncements that he should have done X, or he mismanaged the game. Seriously, and this applies to anyone making such statements, how the fuck do you know? It's easy to create alternatives to the decisions the manager's made, because the person doing that is using simple variables and hindsight. The manager is dealing with real people and real circumstances in real time. I mentioned the review, and Sean Rogers made a great point about players and the issue of qualifying to play in the Champions League. How do you push players to qualify for something when they get rested for the biggest games in that competition, so that they can then play in a game that will help them qualify again? He says, Charlie goes on, I'm happy to let Klopp make the big decisions and not continually question them with the benefits of hindsight. I think he's earned that, both before Liverpool and at Liverpool, and the danger with over-analysing, overreacting and in general behaving like a bunch of spoiled kids is that over the long term we make ourselves unmanageable as a club. Klopp goes, the next guy has the same scrutiny from know-alls when they don't agree, and the decision and the cycle goes on, blah blah blah. He says the Anfield Wrap has a part to play in this. It can act as a voice of reason that educates and explains, or it can propagate the baying mob mentality. I think on the whole it's still the voice of reason and needs to avoid being tempted by the possible short-term benefits of fueling the fire. John, what do you make of that? I mean, I think this feeds into a wider point about almost as if we're having a sit down and having a big discussion about what we're going to say when it isn't that, is it?
No, it's not that at all. And this guy, I presume it's a guy, apologies Charlie if you're not, he's talking about our responsibilities and stuff like that, and I understand that, we're going out to a lot of people, but when you post-match shows, you're not going in there and going, oh, got to remember my responsibilities here. You're a fan. We've got as far as we can from being ordinary fans, and you're going in there and you're venting if you don't like what you've seen or whatever, or you're going mad if like the Stoke game, you've seen a couple of brilliant goals from Mo Salah, and so we've always sort of got to be like that, really, and especially for the people who, you know, me and you are on it all the time, or for people who get involved every now and again. If you start saying to them, well, we need to remember to be more like this, they'll just stop doing it, won't they? And so do always kind of remember that, even though we've obviously got to a scale now where a few of us are full-time, for a lot of the lads and girls who just get involved, they just want to come and talk about footy and have to say, and we can't really start saying to them, well, we've got kind of responsibilities to be this or be that. So I don't know, and we never try and fuel fires as well. Like, that's just like, we never go in and say, oh, let's try and fuel this fire. It's honestly just people talking, and as much as we say it, maybe people don't believe us, but it's people in the room. I never know really what you're going to say. I've got a good idea because we've done a lot of shows together, but I never really know what you're going to say, and same for kind of the others, really, and we just kind of go with it. We speak from the heart, we speak from being fans and what we've seen, and I'll also honestly say that Jürgen Klopp doesn't care what we're going on about. So, you know, you talk about the pressure, added pressure on Jürgen. I don't think Jürgen cares what anyone's talking about, never mind us on a podcast.
No, definitely not. and look, fan media's always been this way, certainly at Liverpool. I mean, all the time I've been going to matches, which is a long time, 27 years now, I think. There's been fanzines, there's been the likes of Through the Wind and the Rain, and that was very similar. You know, people would write in with their views, it would get published, and it was very honest, very raw, not always, you know, not always considering all factors and being all, you know, it was emotional, and being a fan is emotional, and I think that's what we try and get across. And you know, we have got 90 odd contributors as well, all with their own views, no editorial line. We've had another one as well. This is from Viva Bobby Graham. I might not get through all of this, but he's really got stuck into us on the same forum, Red and White Cop. He says, it occurs to me that the line that you give of a gang of lads talking about the match, ABAH for a bar there, is now long gone. And instead you're the bastion of knee-jerk Twitter twatters, 606 Radio Merseyside Liverpool Echo commentators that you used to abhor. You regularly quote Twitter when it suits. Fucking Twitter, for fuck's sakes, he says. And then he says, what is the Anfield Wrap now? A promotional t-shirt, mugs, paraphernalia, a merchandising platform to promote what? Robbo? Paul Senior-o? Acco? God forbid there's Andy fucking Heaton-o. Then he says, you are losing the plot. The void you filled is now some other commercial enterprise that needs to pimp subscriptions. It's like promoting the cop as your USP, then reneging on that by churning out the same old dross, like the BBC, like Sly Sports, and like Talk Shite. Get a grip or join the cartel of shizer that relies on hits. I mean, that's enough from Bobby, isn't it? I mean, there's loads more. Go on the Red and White Cop forum and read more from Bobby. But he doesn't like us. He doesn't like what we do. He doesn't like our shows. He thinks we've lost it. We aren't what we used to be, etc. and so on. John.
Do you know what, though? He's not mentioned me there, so I think he's got his all bang to rights, to be honest with you. Like, I think, you know, Gibby out doesn't get in there or whatever, so I think I'm fine. I mean, I don't know if Bobby's had a pint before doing that, or it's a bit tongue-in-cheek, but yeah, still fans, still going to the match, still got season tickets, so yeah, soz about us. Twitter and stuff will get involved every now and again because it's interesting to see what people are saying. You know, we'll bring other stuff in as well, so I don't think we bang on about Twitter too much. Oh, and yeah, he has got a point that t-shirts and mugs are available for Christmas.
You know what I mean? And Bobby adds, and we'll conclude on this. Bobby adds, finally, your anti-Jürgen agenda, which I've been harping on for ages, seems to now be more transparent. I look forward to another piece from your trick cyclist to further boost your agenda against the Jürgen. And he concludes, quilts. So
I absolutely love Jürgen Klopp.
I do as well. I think he's the best manager we could possibly have at this moment in time. I love him. I think he's boss. I got bollocked by other people on the Anfield Wrap for putting him on some kind of plinth and saying he was shankly and all kinds. I like him, mate.
I love Jürgen.
I like him. I think he's taken his places. I like the way he deals with the press. I like the team he's set up. I like the attacking football. Lad, you're chatting out your ass. That has been the wrap-up.